September jobs report really showed. Joining me now to break it down. Look at this panel, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta memorize what these folks say because they are the best of the best, as Larry would say. Steve Forbes, Forbes Media Chairman and Editor-in-Chief. Art Laffer, the legendary Art Laffer, and Steve Moore, both of whom are co-authors of a great new book. It's out today, The Trump Economic Miracle and the Plan to Unleash Prosperity. We got some information about who came up with that title, but we'll go there. We'll go there in a bit. Steve Moore, I got to ask about these jobs numbers because way above expectations. The print itself, more than 100,000 above what was expected. But there is a lot of, as people peer deeply into these numbers, they're noticing some irregularities and their questions about seasonable adjustments, particularly regarding government jobs. What is it?
So what we're finding is just a massive amount of the jobs that have been created in the last year are either direct government jobs, close to 1 million. By the way, why is the government hiring more workers when it's losing $2 trillion a year? I mean, we should be laying on, reductions in force. And then the number one employer growth has been in healthcare because we just spend so much on healthcare. And as you know, government pays half the cost of the healthcare bill. So government is now basically becoming the biggest employer in America. Education
as well. And even the private education, a lot of the federal money goes into there as well.
And all the green energy subsidies. Yeah. You spend $1 trillion, you're going to create jobs with that, but it's taking money out of the private sector.
Steve Forbes, what do you make of these numbers? Do you still have faith in the numbers that are coming out from the BLS and the federal government?
No, it's Marxist. Marx Brothers is the kind of
that Marx, okay, that Marx. Chico, Groucho, or Harpo, which one?
But the fact of the matter is, I think with all the criticism of the adjustments, every month the report comes out, previous months done way downward. Now, just before the election, suddenly the adjustments disappear. And the thing about seasonal adjustments is, as you know, in December, number of people, holiday jobs and the like, soar. They adjust that down. In January, these people get laid off, but seasonally adjusted, the numbers go up. So seasonally adjusted is I think maybe Chicago's taken over the Bureau of Labor Statistics in terms of how you interpret this thing. Yeah. And the other thing is, number of hours worked is slightly down, as Steve points out, government-related, not the kind of thing that bodes well for the future, especially if she gets elected and we have taxes that are going to throw us into a depression.
Art Laffer, when you and I first met, I was at the Wall Street Journal. You used to come in and regale us all these wonderful tales about how crazy California was. At the time, I think you were running for the Senate in California. It shows you how times.
No,
I know. But I was covering Latin America, and I said, at least in the United States, we can rely on law and order. We can rely on the information that's coming. As bad as big government is, we could rely on it. It seems like we're losing faith in a whole series of government enterprises. And again, it is government and it's crazy and they always overspend and spend poorly when they do. But something very dangerous is going on here, isn't it?
I don't know if something dangerous is going on. You had the COVID-19.
Can't rely on the numbers, though.
Well, but when you're doing seasonals, it's the ratio to moving average, the way they do it. And when you get the COVID thing and you get this huge blip, they try to spread that blip around, and it causes all sorts of problems. If you had the same year, there would be little doubt as to what the seasonal should be. And now with the blip coming in, it causes all sorts.
Michael Faulkner says the same sort of thing. So
then I'll change my story. I thought I was the first one.
All right. All right. Well, you're not going to change your story on this one. I just
you got me pinned down first. You asked me my story before you told me someone else had it.
I just want to play a little clip of Larry's interview with Donald Trump, which took place on Friday, because he talks about his corporate tax plan, which is really unique. I haven't heard anything like it. Let me just roll that and get your reaction to it. Roll tape.
We took in more revenue with 21 than we did because it was after the tax cuts. We call them the Trump tax cuts, which were phenomenal. And just about everybody admits that. Now I'm going to take it from 21 to 15, but you have to make your product here.
The name of your book is The Trump Economic Miracle. Could something like this, combined with other details of his tax plan, create a second Trump economic miracle if he's elected?
Yes, it most definitely will. I mean, he dropped it from 34 to 21, and you saw what happened. If the tax cuts paid for themselves,
Isn't there a curve about that?
Well, there was a
Things
curve about
curved,
that.
I call the Laffer curve.
But this
it
one
works.
And then we grew faster than Europe. I mean, we grew by 2.5% more than we should have had we grown at the rate of Europe. Going down to 15% would be great. And then if you use Larry's idea, which is Larry all the way to these two guys love it too, is 100% expensing of capital purchases.
It was one of the
those
best
together.
things, yeah.
And then the estate tax. If you want old geezers like me to work, I mean, you want to get rid of the estate tax because I sit there, I mean, I'm working for my grandkids, and if you cut my grandkids out, I'm stopping. I mean, the left would probably love that if they knew I would stop. If they did it, they'd probably raise it up all the way.
They're the little details. A lot of us who are looking at the plans that you and Larry and Art came up with the first economic miracle of Trump, a lot of those details most folks didn't know about, the 100% deduction, but they turned out being one of the main cogs in this wheel that created all of this economic activity.
Very much.
Yeah, we took half the people off of the rolls of the death tax, right?
Yeah.
Under that plan. And we also, here's something that people don't realize. Prior to the Trump tax cut, remember the alternative minimum tax?
Of course,
there were 7 million people who had to deal with this duplicate tax
It was originally meant for like a couple of hundred
right,
people.
And 7 million.
25 million.
You know how many now today? Only 500,000. If Kamala gets in and repeals the Trump tax cut, 7 million people, Steve Forbes, are going to have to pay the alternative minimum tax.
I had not. And Steve, I mean, one of the biggest lies, there's so many that come out of the Kamala Harris team talking about how, this was just for millionaires. In fact, 65%. This is according to Tax Policy Center, which is a left-leaning policy institute, said 65% of taxpayers got a tax cut with the Trump tax code that came in 2017. If they just, willy-nilly tear it up the way they did with the immigration plans of Trump, with the dealing with foreign policy of Trump, if they tear up his tax plan, does that mean 65% of Americans would immediately get an increase?
Well, what you try to do is she'll keep the doubling of the standard deduction in, but then raise everything else, which would hurt the economy. And so, yes, they would get a tax cut. That tax cut would remain, but the rest of the economy would get slammed. We will have a severe downturn. I'll say it, the worst since the 1930s. And some people who like to look at rose-colored glasses and the like say, oh, well, if the Republicans have the House or the Republicans have the Senate, we'll make it less bad. But it's still going to be bad because otherwise the whole tax cuts expire.
By the way, quickly.
And so some Republicans actually favor raising the corporate tax. We still got some missionary work to do.
Yes, sir.
Any hope for a flat tax from a second Trump administration?
If it's going to come, it would come under Donald Trump.
Yeah.
No, and certainly
What do you
not
think about the flat
Kamala
tax?
Harris.
I love it. How can you not love the flat tax? Low rate, broad-based, least
That's what
incentives
you've
to
been
evade.
talking about all the time. For all of the liberals who are talking about, the deductions that the oil companies get, we agree.
Yeah.
You shouldn't
And
have
not
all
only
those
do, not
special
only
deals.
do we agree, one of the best Republican candidates in the world ran on that issue, and one of the best Democratic candidates in the world ran on that issue. It's a bipartisan.
Brown you're
And
talking
what are we
about?
sitting at this table?
But Kamala Harris has her own version of the flat tax. Top line, what did you make? Next line, send it in.
Well, and it's the wealth
How
tax.
simple is that?
You talk about the worst economy since the Depression. If some of these taxes go through, a wealth tax has been tried in virtually every country in Europe, and it's failed everywhere.
Property taxes. Just think of property taxes. That's a wealth tax. They're the worst taxes you've ever imagined.
I think, you know what I think of? I think of folks who, for their whole life, have been collecting baseball cards, and they have all these baseball, and they're lucky enough to have hung on to some long enough so they could have a very valuable collection. Well, you're going to have these special IRS agents come into your house to value everything you have, from your gold to your baseball cards
Monet paintings.
to the paintings on the wall,
Exactly.
and that you will be taxed
And by the way,
on the
they're not
value
going
of
to
these.
allow you to deduct your losses.
Autographed pictures from you, though.
Steve Moore is in real trouble, let me tell you.
Art, last word. Are we going to have a second economic miracle
Yes.
with the Trump administration? I mean, do you think he is going to win the election?
I was asking you earlier, and you and Steve all say yes, and I'll go along with you. I'm just a follower in
Because
this game.
Americans know you cannot tax your way to prosperity.
Nor
Steve
can a
Forbes
poor
taught me
person
that.
spend himself into wealth.
That's right.
Either way.
Either way, we got it. Okay, gentlemen, thank you
Thank you,
very much.
David.
Good to
You're
see
doing
you
a great
all.
job for
Thank you.
Larry Kudlow.
Thank you. Well,
I
poor
felt
substitute, but
so
you make it
privileged
easy.
being here with the three of you. It's just so
it's so
only
much
one
fun.
missing is Larry. we sort of, Larry, we see you in the middle.
You're in the
There you
middle
are.
spiritually.